All right, I'm Dr. Tim Kennedy from Live Young here with Lance, and we're going to go over some stretches today specifically for first responders. First responders have unique needs when it comes to stretching because a lot of their times they're spent kind of inactive and dormant, and at the drop of a hat, you guys really have to turn it on and be able to move quickly. And that quick exchange from being relaxed to full blast and right out of the gate, that leads to a lot of injuries. So you want to be prepared as much as you can and ready to go at any time. So some of these stretches today that we'll show you will have you in a better position and less likely to hurt yourself when you do have to answer that call. So the first one we're going to get into is just your traditional hamstring stretch, which can be done in most places, either at your station or even using a vehicle if you need to. Lance is going to show us how to do that. So pretty standard hamstring stretch that we all know. The key things are you want to have your leg at a height enough. It doesn't have to be this high, but depending on how flexible you are or aren't, the higher it is, the more of a stretch you'll get. And then you work your torso down. One important thing is making sure that the knee is straight. If the knee is bent, you tend to not really get much of a stretch at all in the hamstring. It's far more effective if your knee is locked out the way Lance has. All right, so Lance is now going to show us a modification for the hamstring stretch because the hamstring originates at the bottom of the pelvis. So a tight hamstring, by stretching it, can cause us to round our back out. And if you have a bad back, that's one of the last things you want to do. You want to try to prevent or limit how much you do that. So this is a modified or an alternative way to stretch the hamstring that still gives you a very good and effective stretch without exposing your back to any injury or making the injury last longer than it needs to. So the important part here is it's very similar, almost the identical stretch, but we're able to keep the back straight by lowering ourselves and our body down into a dip position. Still gives you a really good stretch, as Lance will tell you. Oh yeah. But doesn't expose your back, doesn't round your back at all. All right, so an important thing about stretching is to remember that muscles contract and relax like this. So when we stretch, we actually are coaxing the muscles to relax. So with that in mind, all of these stretches, when you're doing static stretches, which is you get in a position and you hold it for 30 to 60 seconds to work on flexibility, you never want to do that before working out. So if you're a first responder and you have a call you have to go out to, you're not doing these stretches right beforehand. And if you're working out, again, you don't want to do that right before working out. You want to save these for a downtime, preferably after working out, when you're already warm or you're not expected to do anything max effort.